So a lot of people are noticing that streaming prices are climbing again. And just 4 apps can now cost you nearly $840 a year. The Netflix charge, it says $19.99 or $26.99 if you want 4K. And that is the number leaving the account before other apps get their turn. And this is where these deals, they start acting so suspicious because streaming was supposed to replace cable. It was supposed to cut the cord. I mean, you ditch the $80 or $100 bundle, pay one low price, watch what you want, no commercials, no equipment box, no technician arriving sometime between Tuesday and the next presidential election. I mean, that was the promise, right? One simple payment for a simpler life. But $19.99 is not the streaming bill anymore. It's just the cover charge. Netflix is only the first number. I mean, you got Disney Plus, that's sitting right beside it. HBO Max, that's beside that. Paramount Plus or Peacock is usually hiding lower on the same statement. And suddenly, the cheap replacement for cable is 4 or 5 automatic payments, all arriving like they carpool together. It's like cable coming back wearing 5 different passwords, only now you have to remember which password has the show. Now, Netflix right now currently charges $8.99 a month. That's standard with ads. Standard without ads is $19.99. Premium, $26.99. And add an extra member outside your household adds another $7.99 with ads or $9.99 without them. And the payment, it looks friendly, right? But the statement, it never does. So let's put up the full number. Netflix standard is $19.99. Disney Plus Premium is $18.99 a month. HBO Max standard is $16.99. Paramount Plus Premium, $13.99. That is a total of $69.96 a month. Now, multiply that by 12. Now, that little monthly charge, it becomes $839.52 a year before taxes, before services, and you still do not have every movie, every game, or every show. And that's the part the original streaming promise left outside that trailer. The sales pitch showed you one small payment, but the bank statement introduced the rest of the cast. And Netflix gets paid whether you watched 40 hours or not. It doesn't care whether you even open the app twice. That is the power of automatic renewal. The company does not need to convince you again every single month to sign up. It only needs the charge to stay easier to ignore than it is to cancel. And that subscription starts acting like a roommate who never pays rent, never washes dishes, but somehow still has the best seat on the couch. And this changes how you should judge the deal. You can't judge Netflix by monthly price alone anymore. You have to judge it by the full stack and by how often you actually use it. Because $19.99, it sounds reasonable enough, right? Especially when you imagine 30 nights of entertainment. But it sounds different when you open Netflix 2 nights last month. Now it costs almost $10 every time you press play. And maybe one of those nights you watched 20 minutes, scrolled for another 15, and then went right back to YouTube. And that's not movie night. That was a $10 menu inspection. And that is where, or this is where the math changes behavior. Because you do not need to cancel every service forever. You can actually rotate them. You can keep Netflix while the show you want is running. Cancel it when the season ends. Then turn on HBO Max when something worth paying for arrives. Then turn that off too afterwards. Streaming was sold as freedom from the bundle, but rotation is how you stop rebuilding the bundle for yourself. Because keeping every service active just in case is where the bill starts to grow these legs. The show ends in February and you tell yourself, okay, we're going to cancel tomorrow. Then March arrives, then April, and the app sits untouched, but the payment keeps working overtime. 2 unused $16.99 per month subscriptions kept for 3 extra months costs an additional $101. That's $101.94 paid for the privilege of remembering to cancel tomorrow. Automatic renewal is a cashier who keeps ringing up the same item even after you already left the store. I mean, you signed once, And then the bill keeps checking itself out. And then the bundles arrive to rescue you from all these subscriptions, which is interesting, right? Because bundles are what streaming was supposed to rescue you from in the very first place. Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max, they can all be bundled together. And that can lower the total, but Netflix is still outside. Paramount Plus is still outside. And the one cheap bill became several bills, and apparently none of them are speaking on speaking terms. Now, let's try to compare two different households this time. Household one keeps all 4 ad-free services for the entire year. That's the $839 we were talking about before the taxes. Household 2 keeps only 2 services active at the same time and rotates every 3 months. Even using an average of about $18 per service, that household spends about $36 a month. And that's almost half. That's roughly $432 a year. The difference is more than $400. And that's not imaginary savings. That is a utility bill. That is groceries. That is part of an insurance renewal that does not have to land on a credit card. So you're not giving up entertainment. You are just refusing to pay rent in 4 buildings when you can only sit on 1 couch. And there's another number people rarely check. And that's the plan itself, because premium costs $26.99 because it includes 4K and more simultaneous screens. That can make sense for a large household that actually uses those features. But if the television is not 4K and nobody notices the difference, the upgrade is not premium entertainment. It's just an additional $7 monthly donation to a setting you actually never open. And that is $84 a year all on its own. The ad plans create the opposite decision. You save $11 a month compared with standard. That is $132 a year. But now the cheap streaming revolution has commercials again. We cut the cord, walked all the way around the block, and somehow came home to an advertisement for laundry detergent. Neither plan is automatically wrong. The question is whether you are paying for features that you don't use or accepting ads just to keep a service you barely watch. And that's why the plan name matters. Standard, premium, without ads, with ads. Those aren't just labels. Those are different financial decisions hiding inside the same red logo. And that's the bigger truth here, because the math does not have to exceed the old cable bill before the deal breaks. It breaks when the price stops matching the use. It breaks when you pay nearly $840 a year for 4 apps and still spend Friday night searching for the show.